Welcome to my channel, guys. I'm traveling tonight. Tonight's the night. I've been anticipating this moment after about 4 months of teaching in China. I've decided I need a bit of a holiday, and for the Spring Festival or Chinese New Year, I'm spending 30 days in 3 different countries. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how I'm packing my backpack and what I'm taking with me. I'll be honest, this is a really quick disclaimer. I am one of the most unorganized people when it comes to packing, and I'm trying my best. So you might find that I'm not the best at giving advice. This is not a video of what you should do. This is more of just what I do, okay? So just a real big disclaimer. I should put it down the bottom here. This is not any form of advice. This is just what I do, and you can take what you like from it. If you find that I do something or take things that you think might be beneficial, then you can just adopt the idea. But yeah, this is by no means a how-to video. It's just what I do video, okay? So the first thing that I want to show you guys is the backpack that I choose to travel with, and I'll include a link in the description of where you can buy it. I've kind of modified mine, put some really cool flags on it, right? Some of my favorite countries that I've been to. The brand of this backpack is called Black Wolf, and as I mentioned, there'll be a link in the description. I travel with a 65-liter backpack, and the only reason why I've chosen the 65-liter backpack is because when I traveled for the first time, it was a really big trip. It was 1 year, 12 months, 15 countries, over 100 cities, and I needed a really big backpack. I was literally everything that I had was in my backpack, and that was all I took with me. So you don't need to travel with a 65-liter backpack. I paid about $200 for this, and I just feel like you could go cheaper and just buy, a 50-liter backpack of the same model, and there's a lot more sort of advantages to traveling with a smaller backpack. If you travel with a 65-liter backpack, because of the size dimensions, you have to take this. You have to check the backpack in on most airlines, so you can't take it as a carry-on in your flights. Now, in most countries like China, I'll give you the example for China. For me to take this backpack with me to Cambodia, which is my first stop, I've had to pay $67 just to get this bag checked in. So I could have saved myself that $67 if I just had a 50-liter backpack. And you'll find after today's video that I'm probably not going to use the whole bag. There'll be a lot of spare room in it, just because I don't take many things with me. So I'll show you some of the features of the bag as well. So as I mentioned, I've been traveling for quite some time. I've had this backpack for quite a long time, so it is a little bit worn out. Because I've put the flags on it, there are certain pockets that I no longer have access to. You could put some really cool things in. So if you have a look on the inside here, right, because I've got the flags in, I no longer need these pockets where I'd normally put some toiletries and stuff. Now I just buy a toiletry bag and just, find some space in there for them. If you have a look at the side here, this is a really cool spot that you can put some headphones, or you can put any really small objects in here with a zip. And it's got a waist strap that you're able to just tie around your body. It's really good for hiking if you take this backpack on hikes. Coolest thing about this backpack, around the top here, if you can see this little umbrella, right? Whenever it rains, it usually comes with this pocket, and you can just take out this plastic thing to cover the whole bag so that it doesn't get wet. The bag's not waterproof, so it has a cover that you can cover the bag with, which is really incredible. I don't travel much in the winter, and if I am traveling in what Australia would consider their winter, then it's summer in most countries that I'm in. So I've taken that out, and I use this pocket to put in chargers, laptop chargers, phone chargers, my battery adapters, power banks, things like that. And that in this pocket really comes in handy. All right, another really cool thing about the Black Wolf backpack is that in addition to the 65-liter backpack, you also get this really small guy that comes along, and this can actually clip on to that backpack and two become one, right? So you can wear the big one with this one attached to it, and it comes in handy. I tend to, unclip them and leave them that way, and I wear this one separately, or I wear it on the front like this, right? Just because I don't like having a really thick bag on my back, and I just prefer that one being on its own, and this one being where I can see it, because all of the important things go in this backpack. This is my carry-on. This is on my back 24/7. Like, this is like the clothes that I wear, right? My passport sits in here. My money sits in here. My phone sometimes will sit in here. All my bank cards, all my flight information, like everything that is important while traveling sits in this backpack and stays really close to me. So for first-time travelers, this is probably what you want. Let me show you what I'm putting in my bag and what I take with me, right? I had a friend actually reach out and say, hey man, like how much stuff do you take with you? And I told you guys before, I traveled for 1 year, over 100 cities, and this backpack was all I took with me, right? So, it's common for a lot of backpackers, but for people that haven't traveled before, you would assume, a couple of suitcases maybe for 1 year, like a couple of suitcases. Doesn't work that way, right? And there are ways, and this will probably be, an idea for a future video, how you can do 1 year living like, out of a backpack. So save the thought, right? But I'll show you what I'm taking with me and just give you some insight on how I travel. All right, so I mentioned that I'm a very messy backpacker. I wasn't kidding, right? So yeah, this is what it looks like beforehand, and this happens every single time that I need to backpack. Alright, so let's start with the small backpack first. I think this will be the easiest one to pack. I'll tell you what's in here right now, and then what I'll be putting in there. So I've got my little adapter. This is for my MacBook, this is for my laptop. I'll actually include a link for this in the description for this as well. This is really handy. I've got my wireless charger, some USB ports, HDMI port, and a USB-C port. Essential, especially if you're doing like, content creation or working from your laptop. You need one of these bad boys if you have an Apple. What else do I have? If you're in like foreign countries in like Asia, I highly recommend getting yourself some of these bad boys, just because squat toilets and no toilet paper, they just don't go hand in hand, you know what I mean? What else do I have in here? Oh, wireless mouse, again for my laptop. Keep this in the small pocket of my backpack. Right, so this is my SD card, like the adapter for the SD card. Again, the problem with the Apple products, you have to buy separate dongles. This is a dongle for my USB. I bought this before the adapter. I no longer really need this, but I carry it with me anyway. Absolutely important. Some hand sanitizer here. I bought this from Cotton On. $2. Oh, and lastly, because I lost my SIM card pin ejector removal tool thingy, I did we call this a wog job. Homemade, just cut it myself. And I use this to remove the memory card and the SIM card from my phone while I'm traveling. The first thing that I take with me that goes in my backpack is the MacBook. Absolute must. I put it in this case, which I bought from the Apple store. It's just a regular case. I put it in this case before it goes in my backpack, just so that it doesn't scratch the laptop. And I've had this laptop for about 2 years now, and I've taken it with me everywhere that I go, and it's been good to me. I'm just gonna adjust this. There we go. Yep, so my laptop, absolute must. The other thing I'm gonna put in there, just like that, is my charger. Absolute must while traveling is the Dre Beats headphones. These things come in handy so much while you're on an airplane. If there's babies crying, they have, what do you call it? The soundproof. Got it this time, yeah. They've got soundproof feature, so you can't hear anything on the outside, and it's amazing. The other thing that I love carrying with me that is an absolute must, especially if you're hiking a lot, is these power adapters. So mine is by Romoss. I just bought this the other day actually. I paid $12 for this in China. I can't really include a link, but if you just go on Google and type in Romoss, I'm sure you'll find one. This is the 10,000 battery level thingy, whatever you call it. Yeah, 10,000 is the one. I'll try and find a link and include that also in the description. This I'm gonna put in here. Comes in handy. I carry two power banks just because I'm very savvy with my phone and I do a lot of filming and I use my phone a lot. So I carry 2 as an emergency. I also carry with me just some accessories for my mobile phone. So this is just some camera lenses that I take. In these camera lenses, I'm using one of them right now, but they usually just look like this, right? And they just adjust the quality of the camera, widescreen or 3D fisheye kind of things. So yeah, this is quite handy. All right, and some other things that I take in my carry-on. Book, absolute must. I'm reading Malcolm X at the moment, very intrigued by his autobiography. If I have any Malcolm X fans out there, drop a comment please, I'd love to have a chat to you about this book. Other thing that I take with me, diary. I'm a big planner. Not very organized, but I like planning. I just don't plan too far ahead. It's like I plan for the next 12 hours. But yeah, I take a planner with me everywhere I go. This always sits in the back, and I usually use it to, especially on an airplane, I kind of plan when I arrive what I need to do first, like a to-do list. Exchange money, find a taxi, address of the hostel, just a list of things that I need to know for that day. And it comes in handy. Absolute must. This is probably the most important thing. This was a gift from a very good friend of mine, engraved with my name on it. It's a passport holder. So I have my passport in here, and then I just carry some cash. And this is one of those things that I hold very dear to me. Not just because my friend bought it for me, but also because my passport and my cash is in there. So yeah, absolute must that this sits in this backpack with me. And I carry this everywhere I go. Guys, that's it for this backpack, right? This is probably about 6 or 7 kilos heavy, and it sits comfortably on my back. I'm going to show you some stuff that I'm putting in my other backpack right now. I'm going to have a lot of room left over because I don't take a lot with me. And again, I'm only going for like 30 days. So yeah, I'm going to move things around. We're going to change the angle. How do you like them angles? So, I'm about to put all the clothes in the big backpack, and I've seen other people pack a backpack, and those people that are organized have what's called packing cubes. I don't have that stuff. I'm in China. It's very cheap to get them. I probably will get them. I just don't have them right now. Usually what you can do with a packing cube is you put different types of clothing, your t-shirts, your jumpers, your jeans or whatever. You put them in different little bags, and then you can just slide them into your backpack a lot easier. Look, they're pretty handy. I just don't have them, so I just shove stuff in my backpack. So in saying that, I normally put the things that I will use less frequently at the bottom. The way that my trip is organized, the first 15 or 20 days will be quite warm, so I tend to have my t-shirts and my jogging pants and things like that closer to the front of the bag, like so where you open it. And then I'll have things like my jumpers, my hoodies, my jackets at the bottom because I won't need them. And then when I move to, I'll be going to the north of Vietnam where it'll be quite cold, then I'll obviously change that around and put the warmer clothes up the front. It's just easier to get things in and out. Yeah, let me just quickly throw some things in the bag right now, and then I'll get into what you need to take and what not to take. I've kind of, pretty much packed the bad boy. I think we're ready. I'm leaving in probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I leave everything to the last minute if you can't tell. A lot of people tell me off for it. It's just how I am, I'm sorry. I'm just making sure, I'm looking around my room and making sure that I've got everything that I need. The last thing you want to do is leave your apartment and then you forgot something important. So if you're staying in a hostel, you will need a padlock to lock your bags, right? So ones that I carry, I don't even know what it's called. Master, right? I carry this little bad boy, and this is one without the key. And the reason is because I'm not a very responsible person. I would lose the key. So I carry the ones with these little codes on there. And I'm that irresponsible that I had to get the person I bought it from, like the customer service rep, I had to get her to set the password for me because I wasn't sure that I would do it right, because I've messed that up before. So yeah, get these little padlocks, guys. I've got 2 of them. I put 1 on each bag, and then I use them when I'm in the hostel to put them in, to lock my bags up because locks are not provided. Another really cool thing, which is a handy tip, is to buy yourself one of these little electric weigh thingos. I don't know the names for them. Electric scales, you know what I mean? I make up my own names. Buy yourself some electric scales. This comes in handy when it comes to, you know, like right now I need to sort of weigh my baggage. I mean, there's no way my backpack's going to be more than 20 kilos. But if you ever take things on as a carry-on, it's really important that if you're a bit iffy about it, to just ensure that you're 100% before you, before you take your bag there. There's been instances where I get to the airport with some carry-on and it's not accepted. It's too heavy or it's too big or things need to come out. And it's just an ugly situation because it's the last thing you want to worry about when you're flying. So padlock and electric scales. So if you're ever wondering whether you've taken enough with you, you know, have you overpacked or have you underpacked, right? And everyone says it's always better to overpack than underpack. You're going to be going out, clubs, beach parties, things like this. You want to have options. The thing with backpackers is that we could go with wearing the same t-shirt for 3 days, you know? And this is a funny fact, right? I take 4 t-shirts, 7 pairs of underwear, because I just change my bottoms and keep my t-shirt the same. But you don't really want to overpack when, you know, you're taking a carry-on and you're just, you know, traveling with your backpack. So you want to ensure that you're taking things that are necessary only and just keeping things to, you know, a minimal. Like, don't overdo it. Don't take things that you're not going to need, right? So I've learned the hard way not to take things I don't need. I was one of those that just love options. But, you know, I think I've planned this 30 days ahead really well. So all I've taken with me is 4 t-shirts, 7 pairs of underwear. I've taken my long johns because I'll be in the north of Vietnam where it's going to be cold. I've taken 1 jacket, which is the one you'll always see me wearing in my videos with the red when I'm traveling, on my Instagram photos. You'll see me wearing this like red and blue jacket. I've just taken that. It's really light, it's thin, it's easy to carry around, and it's comfortable to wear. And then just, you know, gloves, beanie, and a neck warmer, just because I'll be in the cold. And then other than that, you know, I've taken 1 pair of jeans, 1 pair of runners, 1 pair of sneakers, and then I'm going to buy some flip-flops when I get to Cambodia where it's warmer, just because I didn't bring any to China because it's cold. And I've allowed just a lot of room in there, just, you know, in case I like to, you know, buy some souvenirs and things like that to bring back with me to China or to buy for some family and friends. So, I mean, yeah, other than that, you know, my 2 backpacks were ready to go. I've got everything I need and I just need to get changed into some comfortable clothes now and I'm ready to set off. I've got a video that might come out about the difference between hostels and hotels. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about hostels today. I'd love for you to tell me your thoughts on this and whether that's something you want to know. Guys, if you've liked this video, if you want to leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I want your thoughts on this. You know, tell me what you think. What did you like? What did you dislike? Give me some suggestions, some recommendations. Get engaged with me and I'd love to hear from you guys. And stay tuned until next week.